The Deciem sale is on again. I have got my top picks just in case you are unsure of what you're actually going to pick, whether you're just going to go for those essential items to get top up so you've got enough for the year ahead, or whether you want to try something new. I have a little bit of something for everybody at all price points. Actually, there's more from the Ordinary in this video today, less from Niod. I am falling in love with the Ordinary products more and more and more as they release new technology, new formulas that are just top notch. So let's get on with it. One product I always mention in this video every single year is the Copper Amino Isolate Serum 3 from Niod. This stuff is just diamond dust and it does so much for the skin. So copper and peptides together are just the building blocks of healthy skin, regeneration, repair, collagen, elastin production. Really can help your skin feel bouncier, smoother, less textured, more even. It's a great product. It is a lovely formulation. It is water thin, sinks in immediately. If you can't push the boat out to get the Niod formulation, there is a copper peptide solution from the Ordinary as well. I believe it is slightly larger in molecular structure, so it's not going to get as deep into the skin, but you're still going to get a lot of the benefits. So it's quite pricey for a product from the Ordinary, but it is definitely worth it. This would be my ultimate pick though. This is my favorite of the two products, but again, if you don't want to spend this much, go for the one from the Ordinary, which is, you know, it's a really nice formula as well and very similar consistency, thickness, texture as this one. Let's talk about these two Niod beauties. One is an old faithful, one is a new product. Both of them are absolutely fantastic, but for different skin types, as far as I'm concerned anyway. So the first one, the Superoxide Dismutase Saccharide Mist. Again, been in my skincare routine for as long as I can remember. This is an amazing hydration tool. It's also a brilliant antioxidant, superior antioxidant as far as I'm concerned. And why is it essential to have an antioxidant in your skincare routine? Well, those free radicals that are in pollution and all sorts of other things in the air that we come into contact with on a daily basis break down the structures of our skin, creating wrinkles, sagging, crepiness, texture. So if you want to protect against those free radicals, you need an antioxidant within your skincare routine, and these two are phenomenal. So, number one, the Superoxide Dismutase Saccharide Mist. It is a mist. I prefer to spritz this in my hand and then pat this into my skin. You need very little. This is going to last you an incredibly long amount of time. And yeah, I'm needing to pick one up, so it is on my list. This is for those people that don't want too much nourishment but need that hydration and the antioxidant protection. If you need a little bit of nourishment as well, Niod have brought out their new Superoxide Dismutase 3 Enzyme Mist. This is going to give you a more powerful punch of everything that is in this formula. It is this one's big sister. It is the mummy bear. It's the one that is going to just protect your skin and not let anything get to your skin throughout the day and harm it in any way. It's also going to give you a little bit of nourishment. It is a slightly heavier formula, even though it's very lightweight. It is slightly heavier in feel when it's put on the skin. Melts into the skin exactly the same as this one, completely effortlessly, but it does have that slightly heavier, more nourishing feel. So, two amazing products. Different people are going to love these products. I love them both. Sometimes the Superoxide Dismutase 3 Enzyme Mist is a little bit too much for my skin. So bear that in mind if you're thinking about trying this out. Sometimes it's a little bit too heavy for me to use in the morning, and that's when I want to use it, when, you know, it's going to do most benefit. So I am still a huge fan of the Superoxide Dismutase Saccharide Mist. That is still my favorite, but if you need a little bit more that the Superoxide Dismutase Saccharide Mist can deliver, this is definitely your gal. Once again, if you don't want to spend that much on an antioxidant mist, because antioxidants you can typically pick up on the high street quite inexpensively, this would be my pick from The Ordinary. This is the Multi-Antioxidant Radiance Mist. Now, although this isn't going to give you as much hydration as the other two products that I've just spoken about, it is going to give you some hydration, and it is most definitely going to give you that free radical damage protection. So that antioxidant formulation that is going to sit beautifully on your skin and give you that lovely glow that, I absolutely crave first thing in the morning when my skin is really flat and lifeless. This will also help to smooth skin texture, and it will also help to brighten your skin tone. This next recommendation is not one that I use the most, it's the one that I recommend the most, I would have thought, especially when people are coming to me and saying, I can't really get on with my cleanser, I don't want to spend a lot of money on a cleanser, but I want one to work, and I don't want anything from my skin to be stripped. I want something really, really gentle. The Ordinary's Squalane cleanser is one of the best cleansers on the market. No, it doesn't have a fragrance. No, it doesn't feel really super luxurious with the packaging, but it works, and it is super gentle, and it's really beautiful on the skin. The texture and the consistency is silky smooth. It takes all the nastiness out of the skin, leaving all the goodness. So it works as a cleanser, and it feels beautiful. So, you know, what is not to like? I don't think I've come across anybody that doesn't actually like the Squalane cleanser. So, I test out so many cleansers on a weekly basis that I tend not to stick to one in particular, which is why I don't use this one over and over and over again. I'm always testing out something. However, it would be one that I go back to because it's just such a great cleanser. I also want to talk about the Azelaic acid suspension 10%. I haven't spoken about this massively in the past. However, azelaic acid for me is one of those unsung heroes within the skincare world. Not enough people talk about it. It is all singing. It is all dancing. If you have any sort of rosacea, redness, irritation, any spot-prone skin or blemish-prone skin, azelaic acid will be your friend. And the azelaic acid suspension 10% from The Ordinary, it works. It really, really does. Do I think it could be a nicer consistency? Probably. It is quite a thick, pasty cream. It does sink into the skin beautifully, and you need very, very little. But I wish it wasn't as gritty as it is. Sometimes I get one, it's as smooth as they come. Sometimes a little bit abrasive when I'm trying to massage it into my skin. But azelaic acid formulations, especially those at 10% and higher, are incredibly difficult to formulate. So I don't hold that against this product. If you do have redness that you want to calm, if you do have pores that are easily blocked that you want to clean out, if you want to even the skin tone, the azelaic acid suspension 10% is a great way to start. If you do find that you want to calm the skin and you want to tackle redness and irritation, and you are going to try the Superoxide Dismutase Saccharide Mist or the new addition from Niod, you don't need to buy the azelaic acid suspension 10% because those products as well will really help to calm the skin, to soothe the skin and bring down that redness. Another product that uses an ingredient that isn't talked about enough as far as I'm concerned is The Ordinary's Sulphur 10% powder to cream concentrate. Now, sulphur is amazing for problematic skin. If you can feel a blemish coming, or you can see some irritation on the surface of the skin, that can be quite painful. You know, when you move your face, especially if you move your face as much as I do in a day, I am very, very expressive. It can be really, really irritating and feel like a bruise if you've got that sort of blemish poking up from underneath the skin that's really deep in the surface. Using a little bit of this, just a little bit, on the end of your finger and massaging it into that blemish will calm it and soothe it pretty much immediately. I mean, I don't think I have had as much success out of a blemish treatment as I have with this product. It is amazing. Now, it only comes in a really small bottle. How much do you get in this? 5 grams of product. I can't remember how many times I've used this and it still looks like it's new. You need the tiniest amount. In fact, it only has a really small hole to dispense the product out of because you need such a small amount. So just dispense the tiniest amount into the palm of your hand, massage it in with your finger to turn it into more of a cream paste, and then dab that onto your spot and piff, puff, puff, as if by magic, soothed, redness reduced. It's just amazing. Very briefly, I want to touch on the Saccharomyces Ferment 30% Milky Toner. This is one of my mum's favourite products. This is the exfoliant that my mum will use on her skin. Her skin is very delicate. She does use retinoids. In fact, she uses tretinoin, so it is very, very high strength. And she often gets a little bit of flakiness, especially around this mouth region here. So it can be quite irritating, but more than the irritating, it's the what it looks like with makeup over the top of it. And this really does help to sort the problem out, but does it in a very gentle way. So if you feel like you can't cope with an acid exfoliator or a standalone really gritty exfoliator, then try this out because it works in a completely different way. Instead of dissolving the goop that holds the dead skin cells onto the skin, which can cause irritation in that dissolving process, this stops the goop from being sticky. It doesn't dissolve it, it just makes it not sticky. So those dead skin cells can slide off the skin without any irritation whatsoever. It's a very, very clever product, and if you have sensitive skin but you're wanting your skin to look baby fresh and just beautiful and glowy and not dull, try this one. I've saved the last 2 products to the end because these are the 2 products that are going to give you bang for your buck. They are going to give you welly. They are very, very strong and they do so much for the skin. So the first one, which I use in my skincare routine all the time, which is why it's over there where all my other skincare is, this is the Ordinary's GF 15% solution. I've lost count how many of these my mum has actually gone through. Every single time we seem to go to Meadowhall, she's like, I just need to go to the Ordinary and go and get another one of those GF thingies. What she says. So we always have to pick her one up. I have picked her one up for her little Christmas parcel because I know it will be used. I keep saying to her, I think you might be using a little bit too much, but she does use this morning and evening, and I'm only using this in the morning, so I'm going through less than her. You really do only need a few drops for the entire face, but my mum does her face, her neck, her décolletage, and twice a day. It's such a good formula. So this is a growth factor formula. Absolutely phenomenal for rebuilding any sort of damage that's been created in the skin over time, rebuilding that damage from the sun, also promoting collagen and elastin production, making your skin bouncier, smoother, less fine lines, less wrinkles, less skin texture, less crepiness, less droopiness, just... It is an amazing product. I was really surprised that Niod didn't bring out this product because it's that sort of formulation that I feel they could have got a lot more money for. if they were being greedy, and the Ordinary just, yeah, they weren't. And finally, the Ordinary's Retinal. Now, I don't know how this has happened. I don't know how I've allowed this to happen, because you all know that I get jittery if I'm starting to get to the end of a product. So I always have a spare in my drawers over there, just in case, for my favourite products. I ran out of this the other day. And I thought, should I place an order? And then I thought, no, I am going to wait till the Slowvember campaign from the Ordinary before I stock up for masses of this to come through my door as soon as I place my order. This is amazing. Now, I don't use this on my face. You can use it on your face. I use it on my neck area and on my chest. But I use something a little bit stronger than this on my face. My face can handle it, so I feel that that's probably the best way for me to go. However, if I couldn't use tretinoin anymore, this would be one of those products that I went to for my skin's needs. This is great at rewinding the clock. So retinoids in general are phenomenal. They are the gold standard of anti-aging. If you want less wrinkles, fine lines, if you want firmer skin, more elastic skin, this will promote collagen and elastin production. It will also help even out the skin tone, plump up everything, make everything look juicier and more youthful. You do have to be careful. This is quite a potent formula, so you can still get that irritation, that shedding, a little bit of redness from this if you go in too quickly. I would recommend, if you are only just starting out with a retinoid, you use this twice a week, and that is it. One pump will do the entire face. Don't overload, otherwise you're just asking for a lot of trouble and your skin won't thank you for it. So just build up to using it 5 days a week, very, very slowly, very slowly, especially on the neck area, which for me tends to be quite sensitive, and around the eyes as well. You can use this around the eyes. I wouldn't go all the way up to the lash line because the skin is very, very sensitive around the eyes, but just pat a little bit around the orbital bone and you will see results. Everyone sees results in different time frames, and everybody's skin is different and has different sensitivities. So I started using it around my eyes maybe once every 2 weeks. I was very, very careful. So I urge you to also be very, very careful. I could sit here forever and talk about every single product from The Ordinary. The Ordinary are very good at offering affordable products that really do pack a punch with everything that they do for the skin. They do it very, very well, and they bring out new products all the time. It seems to be a conveyor belt of new products, but they really do research them to the nth degree and make sure they are perfection before they're released. Niod, on the other hand, they have only released one product this year, as far as I'm aware, which is a little bit disappointing, but I'm sort of pleased that we're going more in the affordable direction. So yes, what I'm trying to say is I could mention a lot more products from The Ordinary, but this video would be so long, nobody would be interested in it. So I've tried to really hone in on my favorites and the products that I feel are going to do your skin the most good. So let me know your favorite Deciem products. What are you going to be buying in the Slowvember sale? A lot of these products may go out of stock right at the very beginning, but they should be back in stock by the end of November. Love you all very, very much. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, share, give it a thumbs up. That's a like. Subscribe. No idea what I'm saying at this point. I really want to see you in the next video. Hope to see you there. Bye.